We are going to encourage you this morning to go and grab pen and paper before you watch this next segment here on 3+U, because as you can tell, we have left the studios. We are on location talking with Gary Thurman of Guardian Investment Advisors. Good to see you, Gary.
Good to see you, Julie. Thank you.
So we are not actually at your offices.
Right.
We are this morning at the Vascular Institute of Chattanooga,
Right.
a place very near and dear to your heart.
It is. It is. One of the things we do at Guardian is work on giving back to the community. And this is one of the organizations that we really work with the Lasar family and giving back to Chattanooga. So I thought it'd be a great location to shoot this segment out.
Our topic is women's health and wealth,
Right.
because the two completely are connected. Right.
They really are. I mean, and I think a lot of women just don't pay attention to what future health costs could come down to in their retirement planning. So we think it's so important to know a lot about your wealth, but also to know a lot about your health, and maybe some preventative things you can do to keep some money in your pocket versus spending them on your health care.
Before we talk about the preventative things on the healthcare side, let's talk on the wealth development side of things, because
Right.
I told you to get pen and paper. For one thing, you'll see the phone number
Right.
on the bottom of your screen as we're talking. Feel free to jot that down. And often when we have these conversations, we end up talking to more of a 50-plus demographic. You're unique because you see people, men and women, of all ages.
We do. I'd say the majority of our clients are 60 and older. But one of the things that we're really working on right now is getting to our younger people in our community, trying to help them and educate them on how to start planning now so they don't run into so many issues when they actually retire. So we love working with our younger people.
Something he told the group of us who were here this morning that shocked all of us was that almost 60%, 59% of women, regardless of age,
Right.
still don't have access and a true knowledge of their couple's investments.
Right. It happens a lot. The number is 59% of ladies, they just don't know what's going on inside of their retirement plan. And unfortunately, if that spouse passes away, they're left with their hands tied because they just don't understand what the vehicles are, how the vehicles work, what do they have to pull money out of. So we think it's vital for the spouses to be involved in every single decision, especially when it comes to that retirement planning.
So much so that often if it's the husband who comes to meet with you first, you're fine with that, but you insist the next time his wife comes too.
They do. Most likely, I mean, if you look at the stats, females are going to outlive the men of the group by 5 years. That's average. We have several clients right now that the spouses have already passed away and they've been living 10 plus years after that. So it's so important for women to understand, because they got to understand the income plan. Mm-hmm. They got to understand what's set aside for health care planning and different things like that. What's legacy for the children or charity? Right. So the women really need to be involved.
So you cannot give us specific advice because it's going to be a case-by-case basis.
That's correct.
Which is also good to know, because as all these people come through your doors, you're seeing them as the individuals that
Right.
they are.
Right.
Let's talk, though, just some basic things that are sometimes hard to hear. Here we are in 2022. And yet women are still making, on average, is this right, 82 cents to every dollar?
Yeah, that's correct. That's just been a known fact for many years, but still in today, TIAA actually did this study. Women, on average, make 82 cents for every man's dollar. Something else that's interesting to me, women leave the workforce 2 to 3 years earlier, so they retire with 30% less in their retirement accounts versus men.
Is that why it's the 30% less? Because when you combine the two, leaving early and the lesser wage?
I think so, and I think women too. If we all know, women are the caregivers of the group, mm-hmm. right? So, maybe you're helping get your kids through college, and maybe you pull some money out of your retirement account to get your child through college. Child gets through college, and now all of a sudden you got aging parents. Yeah. Maybe they don't have the proper care. So now the female is taking care of her mom or dad, and then, spouse gets sick. Right. So there's a lot of things that force a lady to retire earlier than the men do, and I think it all boils down to they're the caregiver of the group.
Can I break the very rule I just said I was going to follow?
Yeah.
And can I ask you one bit of advice?
Mm-hmm.
As a general rule, the market is not ideal right now. Is this a time to buy? So if you're in a position to even add to your 401k, percentage-wise, could you do it?
Yeah, I think it's a great time to buy, especially if you're in a 401k, because you're buying everything at a lower cost. Mm-hmm. And most cases out there, your 401k is getting some type of match, mm-hmm. so you're putting even more money into that plan. Our phones are ringing like crazy right now because we got people wanting to get in now because the market's so low. So it's a perfect time to get in the market.
I want to circle back then to the health part of it. You talked a little bit ago about how you never can tell when a health issue may come up. You are very active with what they do here at Vic.
Right.
If you're an older person, you probably know it's peripheral artery disease is a big push of theirs in treating it. If that becomes your diagnosis, you can't work. No,
you can't work because you know, basically if you don't do preventative, you're going to lose the your limb, the loss of your limb. So, you know, 70% of women out there, 60 and older, probably have some type of PAD, as they call it. 70%, and they're not being treated right now. And it's easy as coming into Vic, getting a simple test run where they compare the blood pressure from your wrist to your ankles, and it will tell you exactly what's going on, you know, in that blood flow going down to your feet and back. So come in and see Vic and get that test ran.
We have this tendency, I guess, just human nature, is when things are good, you think it's going to stay that way.
Right.
But you never can tell what's around the corner.
No,
so is part of your big advice to men and women, it's just to make sure you've got that protection so that when life throws you that curveball, you're okay?
Yeah, if your financials are in order and you run into a health issue, you know, you've got some money to take care of those things, but there's also some different ways to plan for it ahead of time. We're talking about younger people earlier. If they start planning now and they run into a health issue, well, they're going to have plenty of money set aside for that, and it won't devastate the retirement plan, won't devastate the legacy plan for the children or what. I've seen so many folks devastated with a health issue where they have to pull all their money out of their retirement plan to pay for that health issue just because they wasn't properly covered. If you address that now and get properly covered, then you don't have that stress.
I've got to just about let you run, and it's Guardian Investment Advisors.
Right.
I know you want to talk about the book. Before you do that, though, before you do, you began Guardian Investment about 3 years ago, right at the cusp of COVID.
That's right.
The way that people are finding now to earn money, the way we work has changed.
Right.
Do people have lots of sources of income now, and they're kind of pooling them in a different way?
Yeah, I think we try to encourage a lot of sources of income when you retire. The biggest fear in America is running out of money. That's the largest fear because we're living longer now, men and women. Running out of money is the biggest fear in America, and that's the first thing we address with all of our clients. We want to make sure when the paycheck stops and you stop working that you still have that steady flow of income coming in, and it's guaranteed for the rest of your life. So that's our number one focus with things changing in income planning.
Okay, what's the book? Because I know you want to give that away.
I want to give this away because it really focuses on women, and it's a good friend of ours called David Bach. It's Smart Women Finish Rich. And if you'll call our office, the number's on the screen there. Come by and see us or call our office. We'll send it out to you. I think this is a fascinating book for all women to read.
I'm sorry that we didn't have a chance to hit all angles of the business, but I'm sure as we've been having the conversation, you thought, wait a minute, Gary Thurman, I've heard him on the radio and I've seen his spots on TV, so we're glad to snag you now for 3+U. So thank you.
Thank you.
So here again is the phone number that you saw throughout, 710-9199. It's Guardian Investment Advisors, their website there for you to access as well. And when you call, if you call, is it today? You can get the book?
Yeah, they can call today. Call today, talk to the girls. We'll send the book out to you, or you can simply come by the office here in East Brainerd. But again, you can call us at 423-710-9199.
Great talking to you.
You too, thank you.